Let her go, Alicia replied, standing before Malikite, her direction receiving no response. Her presence was unacknowledged. The strongest of Malikite men moved to protect him as she approaches. Malachite, you are using excessive force against a low-level elemental, which is a gross violation of your defense rights. Being that I am present, my master duty is to see no more harm comes to this child. Now let her go. Malachite reflected for a moment before releasing his hold on Kwajalynn. Bolts of pure electrical arc uncoiled and receded from Kwajalynn's body, retracted back to Malachite, held like physical wipes in each hand, up to his wrist. Coils of pure electricity. Exhausted and overwhelmed, Kwajalynn's whole body was bruised and burned. To the untrained eye, she almost looked like a living corpse. Her hair was soaked in her own blood, and as was most of her body, which slowly descended to the ground, landing on her knees and slightly bent forward. Her head hung down and leaving her face eyeing the ground. Smoke rose from her charred flesh. Faint, manic giggle could be heard emulating from Kwajalynn's as Alicia approached to truly get a feel of the severity of her wounds. Obligated to protect the weak, you stupid bitch, without your husband, who's going to protect you? Kwajalynn exclaimed, laughing hysterically, her voice the embodiment of the demonic possession. Alicia's momentum was halted. The Grandmaster literally paused for a moment. Her constitution swayed from an instant. Her flight response was superior to her fight. Years of war, combat experience suppressed such cowardly notions. Forward she continued to move as Kwajalynn's body became slowly animated. Kwajalynn lifted her head slowly, her huge dark black fro swayed, receded behind cold demonic eyes. The eyes of Azura Mare. Kwajalynn was demonic change. Alicia reached down and placed a hand gently on Kwajalynn's blood-covered face. Lynn, it's time to go. Alicia spoke, extending her hand toward Kwajalynn. Opposition to the excessive demonic gravity. Kwajalynn reached up and grabbed Alicia by the throat. Kwajalynn's hold was strong, cutting off Alicia's breath and silenced her. Shut the hell up, you arrogant bitch. You speak when I want you to speak. Kwajalynn's hand around Alicia's neck. The Grandmaster's eyes rolled and her face became distorted from the overwhelming force. But focusing on her inner strength pushes back against the power perfectly. Alicia's words became broken. You have no place among the living. I have defeated you once, I can do it again. In an instant, blood spread across Alicia's face. Kwajalynn's face expressed shock and horror, reflected in the dazed and confused expression on Master Alicia's face. Downward, both Kwajalynn and Alicia's gaze relocated to see a glowing, blood-covered blade sticking out of Kwajalynn's chest. Yet another mortal wound. Master Alicia eyed the blade as it receded out of Kwajalynn, then her gaze ascended upward to Eddie Mare standing behind his child. Tearful eyes, his attention fixed on Malikite as he pulled the glowing blade out of his daughter's possessed body. Again, slowly, Lynn's wounds began to heal, and her body, anatomy, and facial features returned to their natural birthlikeness and beauty. Eddie placed his hand on his daughter's back, then assisted in laying her on the ground. Slowly, Kwajalynn's conscience regained focus, her mind overwhelmed with pain. She was able to notice her father's presence. Daddy, Kwajalynn spoke, but Eddie did not respond. There was too much to sort out. Instead, he looked over his daughter's body and unsheathed her sword, placing its hilt on her chest and wrapping both of her hands around it. Kwajalynn felt her pain fading, and the world became more focused as her father's image dissipated, absorbed into the hilt of her sword. There was shouting off in the distance, but no one could be seen. Master Alicia continued to stand over Kwajalynn's body. Her mind was trapped between reality and imagining. The stress of the situation were overwhelming her young mind. A single hand on Lynn's forehead calmed the young girl's mind, allowing her body and spirit to heal. There was no trace of demonic presence within Kwajalynn.